におもちゃを抱いてるのを見ると思わず笑顔がこぼれてきちゃうの。やっぱりショーウィンドウよりもおもちゃ箱にいる方がこの子たちにはお似合いね。教授が笑顔になるようなそんなおもちゃを作ってあげたいな。教授見て、これ全部私が作ったおもちゃなんだよ。見た目のデザインからマシンでの製造に至るまで私一人の手で仕上げたんだから。すごいでしょ。どれか気に入ったのはある？教授にプレゼントしてあげる。教授知ってる？おもちゃたちってどれもデザイナーの心に残った童心の表れなんだよ。子供たちが宝物みたいにおもちゃを抱いてるのを見ると思わず笑顔がこぼれてきちゃうの。やっぱりショーウィンドウよりもおもちゃ箱にいる方がこの子たちにはお似合いね。教授が笑顔になるようなそんなおもちゃを作ってあげたいな。教授見て、これ全部私が作ったおもちゃなんだよ。見た目のデザインからマシンでの製造に至るまで私一人の手で仕上げたんだから。すごいでしょ。どれか気に入ったのはある？教授にプレゼントしてあげる。私ね、昔戦場でぬいぐるみを拾ったの。何度も縫われた跡があって毛並みは少しも乱れてなかった。とても大切にされてたんだね。持ち主の元に帰りたいだろうから私が代わりに保管しておいてるんだ。いつかきっとお家に戻って持ち主のそばにいられるように。私がこうして教授のそばにいられるみたいに。
Hey, Nixon, how's it going? Yeah, I was working up on everything. Basically, it's... Yes, I end work. That's cute. And then I eat. And then I get ready for stream. Basically, I'll give myself an hour. Well, I say only. 1 hour is plenty of time, but... Yeah. Alright. Just double check it. Yeah, apparently there's been issues on Twitch for the past couple times I stream. It says I'm marked, so we're good with that one.
すっごく見栄えするでしょ。はい、一口あげる。あんして。お味はどう？何その微妙な顔は。何を入れたかって？小麦粉、リンゴ、お砂糖、シナモン、それとコーンスターチを15さじ。
How's it going, Dylan?
あれ、教授？待って、なんで倒れるの
？Oh yeah, this was a massively long one. This one was very, very big. How's new job treat me? Pretty good. We haven't really done anything yet. I'm still in classes. Well, classes is a class. The big thing is that we're going to be in class for about 2 more weeks. But these last 2 weeks, we should be getting more hands-on related stuff, and then we'll be able to be good to go. But just based on what I've been through so far, I am doing pretty well, and I think I can stick around for a while. I definitely don't want to be jumping around jobs anymore. In fact, if the last job wasn't so against my personality, I would have stuck there, because I was doing really good at that point. But I just really didn't like the job itself, even though everything else was fine. This is lining up to have all of the boxes filled on what I want out of a job, besides pay. That's really the only thing. I could use a few more dollars on the pay rate, but that is not something that can be changed immediately. It's gonna take some time. A few promotions, maybe. You don't have to scam people, right? Exactly. Hey Recon, how's it going? I will say though, working from home again is quite the re-experience. The job literally doesn't care what you wear. You can even be in your underwear as long as you look nice on camera. Because these are video calls that we'll be going through for our clients. Is it windy over there? No. I didn't really experience any wind. There wasn't really any warnings on the weather. We did have some wind yesterday, though. But I can't say it was anything alarming. I was wearing my commander outfit. Working while gaming? Don't tell anyone. Yeah, being able to not have to wear specific clothes is a nice thing. And I want to say Yeah, I want to say that our clients don't really care either. Our customers, what do you want to call them? Now, the only issue I'm having is that since I'm at home a lot, it kind of puts me in a mood where I just want to sleep all day, I guess you can say. So I am much more reliant on coffee. Like, I just spent a week not drinking coffee because I didn't want to spend $20 to get a pack of coffee. But I felt miserable every single day, or every single work day. The weekends are fine, obviously. So then I ordered coffee today, and then as soon as I had like a couple of sips of my coffee during work, I was like, wow, I feel so much better. Not sure if that's a sad thing or not. Alright. That's enough yap, because there is a lot of cutscenes here. America runs on Duncan. True. On the beach, Copley sector. A couple of uninvited guests have snuck their way in here at some point, like blots of ink that have suddenly appeared on a blank piece of paper, and it took exceptionally out of place. Oh, sorry, and they look exceptionally out of place. What's the matter, Hachi? Why did you stop all of a sudden? Oh, is this place too hot? Want me to get you something? I'm fine. I appreciate their concern. It's just sunlight simulated with operands anyway. It's nothing compared to underground magma. It's my fault for not preparing properly. I heard it was just an ecological research sector, so I headed right over. If I'd known the simulation would be so realistic, I would have brought a change of clothes. Protective clothing is essential equipment for going underground. Besides, I'm already used to it. Let's hurry and move out. Don't delay our mission. I hardly ever see you so worried, Hachi. So you're worried about Tsuchi after all? He's been a very capable kid. I'm sure he'll be fine. In any case, let's pick up the pace and head out, Hachi. Relax and leave all the investigative work to me. I understand, thank you. You should also be careful when you're by yourself. Take care not to clash with the sector administrator or other sanctifiers. Also, if circumstances permit, keep an eye on the objective that might appear. Got it. After all, this is a special environment that hasn't been seen before. The objective that we've been looking for might be here. Relax. I won't forget our mission. For Arcadia. Chapter 6, Divine Heresy. We're here. This is the Copley sector. I checked again, and I'm sure the signal is coming from this sector. So Oval is here? Should be. I'll start cracking the firewall now. Wait, Antonia. We need to go about this cautiously. Give me 1 minute. I want to make sure that we're on the right track. Yeah, okay, we're good. I just want to make sure that we didn't skip anything. Well, I feel like we may have missed an event or two. After all, back in the Purity sector, we were attacked by the Entropics the moment we tried to open the firewall. But we don't have much time. We didn't pursue Odile all the way here for revenge. Kay is more badly infected than any of us. We might not be able to solve the problem just by diving into a Tetri level. We still need the source code to completely eliminate the Entropic problem. Kay's condition has gotten worse ever since we returned to the Oasis from Iridis. No problem, Recon. That's why I'm trying to speak as clearly as possible. The medical team is doing their best to save her, but all they can do is slow the infection down. We won't be able to make it if we don't attain the entropy source code. We need to get our hands on a high-order entropic as soon as possible, dead or alive. But Anna, Persecuria has a point. The more urgent situation, the less we can afford to make mistakes. It's not lucky to be so hasty, Antonia. Hearing you say that really pisses me off, Professor. Relax, I'm not that reckless. I just don't want those entropics to get the better of me. After all, I am an expert in computer virus research. In any case, it's not like I was going to make contact with the firewall without any preparations. I've been searching the code structure of entropy all this while. At least, when I'm cracking the firewall, I can see if there are any entropics disguised as part of it. So what happened last time will not happen again. I see. Well, that's Anna for you. Hero 4 for radio. Sol relaxes and leans against the firewall. Well, we better hurry up and crack the firewall, then... Sol? As she leans against the firewall, Sol suddenly loses her support and is only spared the disgraceful fate of going ass over tea kettle by her swift reflexes, which allow her to drop into a roll instead. You alright? What the hell, Anna? Didn't you ask me to open up the firewall ASAP? Antonia's fingers dance over her keyboard. As we look at the firewall again, we see that the section which had been bearing Sol's weight has silently vanished in an instant. I did say that, but that was way too fast. Well done, Antonia. For some reason, it sounds like sarcasm coming from you. And while I did speed things up a little, I can't take all the credit. What's up, Dylan? The firewall here is exceptionally fragile. I can almost sense the lack of operand backing it up. Is it related to the fact that Copley is a private sector? The capacity of private sectors can't compare to those owned by big corporations. Perhaps. However, when you look inside the sector, they definitely don't seem to be lacking for operands. So, make sure you dust your hair off when you get up. Huh? Something seems to be sticking to my neck. Is that sand? After cracking the firewall, what appears before us is a scene that looks like it could have come from the real world. The pale blue sky meets the deep blue sea as a straight line in the distance. Dazzling sunlight shines down on the beach, It's hot but not scorching, filled with the life and passion of summer. A gentle breeze blows through the shade cast by a nearby tree, as though to strum a traveler's heartstrings. This is awesome! Did they simulate all this with operants? I find it a little hard to believe. Give me a few more seconds. Right, I found the registration form data. Hey Mango, how's it going? This sector's listed purpose is marine ecological research. So you're saying this is a sector for simulated ecological research? Pretty interesting, isn't it? Humans polluted the sea in reality, and now they can only reminisce about the past, the cloud server. The owner of the sector was probably an oceanographer from the previous century. But there's no sign of Old Owl, is there? There's no sign of liquid entropy on the beach either. Surely it hasn't been all washed up by the waves, has it? It doesn't matter. My tracker is still working. Let's keep moving. Oh, then let me be your guide! Just seeing this is making my blood boil with excitement! Ow! Why do you shout so suddenly? Sorry about that. But Prof, Persica, Anna, aren't you guys excited about all this? This is the ocean! It's nature! We know that. But finally, we've been freed from munching grass in some beat-up old power station, or squeezing up against some short-circulating pillars. Have you forgotten? I'm a guide doll for wilderness expeditions by profession. I'm back in my home turf, so I can lead the way. Can I, Prof? We'll be counting on you for your powerhouse soul. Leave it to me. This time, there won't be any problems. Anna, is the signal coming from this direction? It's Antonia. Given the coordinates, that direction seems like the right one. Okay, I'll blaze a trail while keeping an eye open for the entropy and the sanctifiers. Make sure you guys stay behind me. Persica, you alright? Oh, I get it now. So the stuff Soul said about eating grass was the energy herbs in the Hilo sector, and the short-circuiting pillars were the data arrays from the Enigma Center. Persicaria, I think you really do need the rest. Waiting for Alba? Oh yeah, Thursday is going to be quite a stream. We gotta do Dylan's things. We gotta do Dylan's polls. To see if we can get V6 Alba. And then we're gonna sit here for a long time. Doing the first part of the story. I want to say that is at least 6 hours, I want to say, if I remember correctly. It's gonna be a while. It's gonna go past my bedtime, for sure. Guys, look out for the Lesser Sanctifier patrolling at 10 o'clock. Stay as low as possible and quietly approach the professor and me. Roger. Got it. Wait, what happened to the tracker signal? Abnormal situation detected. Jetting movement route. Answering alert status. Huh? Almost ready to know Nikkei? A little late to be asking that, right? I'm not gonna 8 out of 10 though. Trying to switch to combat mode. Relax, they won't be able to spot us. But that lesser sanctifier's coming over. It's safe over here. Move like I did just now and travel through the lower Lion region. Trust me. Antonia returns Soul's steady gaze, then closes her terminal and slowly creeps towards Soul's location. That's right. Stay low. Use its terrain for cover. Remain still, not daring to make a single sound. The mechanical whirs of the Sanctifier's movements slowly draw closer. Anna, over here! A gust of wind blows, and the branch beside the Sanctifier rustles as it sways. The Lord of Sanctifier changes direction, and Soul uses his opportunity to quickly grab Antonia's hand and pulls her over. Analyze environment. Phenomena determined to be part of normal sector operations. Report generated. Returning to pre-assigned patrol route. We only dare breathe sighs of relief when the Sanctifier has moved far away enough. So yeah, apparently Soul is Solid Snake. That scared the crap out of me. Thank you, Soul. It was nothing. Actually, we could have just fought it if things really didn't work out. Fighting lesser sanctifiers like this is hardly a challenge now. Still, we triggered the security systems of the sector even if we did beat it, which would cause a lot of problems afterwards. If you hadn't taken the opportunity when the wind blew... I'm sorry, I've really been impatient lately. No, don't say that. Still, I can't believe Antonia lost her cool. Is there any trouble? There's trouble, alright. Specifically, it's Odile. Antonia's face turns severe as she mentions Odile's name. She opens her terminal again and shows us the glowing green screen. We were supposed to be very close to Odile's location, but her signal suddenly vanished just now. It vanished? I can't be sure if it was because of environment or artificial factors. I'll try to pick up the trail again, but it'll take time. Then we should take a break nearby. We might end up having to fight a tough battle afterwards. Right. It's very important to get enough rest outdoors. Don't stray too far from me, guys. Make sure you stay within view. The temperatures here are fairly high, so mind your thermal dissipation. You sure it's like a leader, Soul? Yeah. I thought we had to fight the Sanctifiers. Thank goodness we had you leading the way. Using the terrain to hinder vision. I didn't think we could evade Sanctifiers like that. Nah, I'm not all that great. But back then, with that Sanctifier, your movements were so swift and certain because you expected the wind to pick up, right? Oh, it's just some knowledge that I came up with experience. Okay, that's enough. If you pray me any more, it'll start to get to my head. Things went as well as they have because the only thing we've encountered so far were a few scattered lesser Sanctifiers. That does seem odd, though. We haven't seen any intermediate Sanctifiers on our way in. These Sanctifiers' movement patterns seem quite uninspired. It doesn't seem like there's anyone directing them. Could it be something like that happened in the Purity sector all over again? I doubt it. At the very least, the lesser Sanctifiers we've encountered so far haven't been entropied. So even if there was an infection, it wouldn't be on the same scale as the Purity sector. In any case, we ought to move quickly while we still have encountered an intermediate Sanctifier. Antonia, how's tracking? Not good. I'm trying to reconnect the signal, but I'm not picking it up at all. What? Don't tell me the tracker was destroyed! Did Oda realize we're tracking her? Judging by the conditions under which the signal disappeared, I don't think the tracker was destroyed. It's more like she has entered a region where the signal is no longer there. No signal. Now, why would there be a region with no signal around here? Don't panic, Antonia. Could the environment here be dispersing the signal? I can hear some noise from the sea. Does it have anything to do with the signal disappearance? The sea? Wait a minute, Persicaria. Your ears function like parabolic reflectors, so they should be sharper than ours. What kind of noise is it? Can you give a more specific description? It's kind of like a fizzing sound, a bit like bubbles in soft drinks. The sound of bubbles on the sea. No way! Sol looks towards the beach and her face suddenly blanches. Or blanches, whatever you call it. The water line that was just a few meters away from us has receded over a dozen meters away. The tide's receding. It's a tsunami! Right on cue, we feel a faint tremor coming towards us from the depths of the earth, steadily growing in intensity. Run! Just then, an unexpected impact sent us all hurtling to the ground. Right after that, a massive wave of ice-cold seawater rushes towards us on the shore. Man, I wish I had tsunamis over here. I'm on the fucking desert planet. Is that a background from Ghost Frontline 1? I think that's a background from Ghost Frontline 1. A wall of blue that drowns out the sky fills my vision. My body loses the support of the land and I am tossed about by the ocean's currents. Although I don't need to breathe in the cloud server, I'm still filled with an instinctive fear of the abyss before me. Professor! A warm hand grabs hold of me. Water gushes past my ears and the scene before me resolves into clarity. Prof! Sol! Don't panic! Don't thrash around! Relax and kick at the water. Then move slowly towards me. I do as Sol says, slowly moving forward. Persicaria and Antonia have already joined hands. The four of us form a circle, floating amidst the ocean swells. Everyone, hold on tight to each other and maintain your balance. Then try to think of a way to head towards shore. Wait, Sol, over there! It's taking all of Antonia's strength just to keep herself oriented, so she gestures into the distance with her eyes. We follow her gaze. There's a massive vortex amidst the grating tsunami, and seawater is spiraling into its center. That's the maelstrom at the heart of the tsunami! Keep away from it, or we'll be done for if we get sucked in. No, look at the heart of the vortex. Is that a hole? As the seawater is sucked in, the naked sea floor gradually becomes visible to us. However, the rocks that are not flat like we expected, but jutting out into a yawning maw that hints at a bottomless abyss within. The bedrock is shifting. Calm down, everyone. This must be the result of some kind of tectonic compression. Normally, tsunamis generated in a small region like this should be over soon enough, so as long as we maintain... A surging wave swallows up the rest of Soul's words. The seawater pushes up a good distance away before we have a chance to poke our heads back above water. The tsunami happened so fast, but it's got so much force behind it. How's that possible? Don't try to apply a normal... Okay, try it again. Don't try to apply a normal logic, Soul. This isn't the real world. Everything is simulated through operands. Another wave's coming. Look out! Before Antonia can finish, a massive wave surges towards us. Yeah. And... Persicaria's voice is drowned out by the wall of sea foam that crashes down on us. An endless expanse of seawater fills my line of sight once more, and the ice-cold seawater gradually saps my strength. Amidst this chaos, the only thing I can feel is Soul holding on tightly to my hand. Relax and don't panic. I'll save everyone. Soul wraps her arm around my body, and I feel myself rising steadily. It seems Soul has managed to find the right current among all the aquatic turbulence, and is steadily taking us away from the heat of the vortex. Part of the vortex. Hang on to this! After leaving the water surface for a moment, Soul pushes me towards something. I instinctively grab it before even registering it as a stout tree trunk. Professor, are you alright? I'm fine. I glance over at Persicaria and Antonia, who are also staying afloat by hanging onto this tree trunk. Persicaria grabs my hand and I can feel the cold in her palm. Oh, they're holding hands. Persicaria's like, give me that hand! This is bad. This tree trunk can't take our combined weight. All we can do is... Soul suddenly lets go of her grip on us, and Antonia immediately grabs her. What the hell are you doing? Relax, I'm much better at floating than that big old log. I'll be fine. No, it's too dangerous. There's got to be another way. Just as it looks like we're stuck between a rock and a hard place, help comes from an unexpected quarter. Grab on. An unfamiliar voice calls out to us from the distance. Immediately after that, some kind of rope-like object swiftly and precisely closed around my waist. I reach down to touch it. It feels smooth and slippery, like rubber. However, it doesn't feel like an inanimate object. It even quivers when I'm in contact, like some kind of sensitive animal. This is... When I look up again, I find that the others have similar ropes wrapped around their waist. How are you guys? Are you okay? The same voice calls out to us again, and we follow it back towards its source on the shore. There's a green-haired agent standing on the beach, one hand holding onto a massive rock while the other is waving wildly to us. There is some distance between us, and the spraying sea foam prevents me from getting a good look at her. However, I can still tell that she's dressed in a very peculiar way. She's not attired like the agents of Gracia, but more like someone from the real world. The strange thing is, both his agents' arms are occupied, so how is she controlling those ropes? I can't hold on much longer. I'll try to pull you ashore, but there's only so much I can do on my own. That's enough. Thank you very much. Sol shouts towards the agent on the shore. Upon hearing Sol's response, the agent sighs in visible relief. Pro, I can take you up to the shore with this rope, but I can only bring one person at a time. Maybe you should go me first. Take first carrier first. I can still hang in there. No, Professor, you... Okay. Your temperature control systems can't maintain your normal body temperature anymore. Now isn't the time for us to be giving away to each other. You're right. Please hang on. Alright, take care, Dylan. Trust me. Pro, I'll leave Anna to you. No problem. Sol shifts Persicaria's weight to herself, then has Antonia take the freed up space on the trunk. Anna, stick with the Pro. We'll come to you to get you once we get to shore. Got it. Ensure that everything is in order, Sol finally lets go and shouts to the agent on the shore. We're climbing up the rope. Please, hold on tight. Leave it to me. Holding on to the rope with one hand and the Persicaria with the other, Sol climbs towards the shore. The wind and waves slowly die down, and after making sure that the two of them won't be in danger on the way back, I take hold of Antonia, who's bobbing up and down on the water surface in time with the currents. Hold on to me, Antonia. This way you won't be tossed around so much. Wait, let go of me! The intensity of Antonia's reaction exceeds my expectations, and I hasten to release her. I just thought it'd be safer this way. No, that's not what I meant. I connected to Odal's signal. Antonia struggles to bring up a glowing green screen in midair. Her eyes focus on the constantly changing readings and curves. She's under the bedrock that centered that vortex. I look towards the maelstrom center as Antonia's indicates. As the waves grow weaker, the fissure in the rocks begin to close up. Through it, I can vaguely see purple liquid churning within. Help me thank Sol when we get to shore, Professor. Antonia? What are you? Antonia suddenly pulls off her rope wrapped around her waist. The green-haired agent on the shore exclaims in surprise from afar. In the next moment, she's already thrown herself at the vortex and vanishes under the sea foam. There's no time to hesitate. I shrug off the rope around my waist as well as swim towards the direction where Antonia has vanished. The force of the vortex has greatly lessened. The swimming skills that I still remember from my training are enough for me to control the direction of my forward movement. Soon I arrive at the other edge of the maelstrom, with a fissure directly ahead of me. The gap that's left is barely wider across than a person. There isn't much time left. I look around. Antonia is nowhere in sight. She must have died below the bedrock. I swim downwards, and as I do, I open a comm window to the Persicaria. Professor, what happened? Did Antonia get sucked in? No, she swam there on her own will. She found Odai's signal down there. No, she's being too reckless. Oh yes, I think so too. But I also know that Antonia's not the sort of person who does reckless things for no reason. And the fact is, we do need to take a few risks. By that, you mean... two people have better odds than one, and they won't risk as much as four. You going down with Antonia? No, it's too dangerous. Relax. I know what I'm doing. Besides, you'll be up here, won't you? You and Sol should find the sector administrator. There's no way an ecological researcher won't know about such a large cave under the sea. The administrator might know how to open a rock stratum. As long as you can do it again, we won't be completely separated. Alright then, I understand. At this point, all I can do is trust your judgment. Please stay safe, Professor. Contact me immediately once you find Antonia. Don't worry, I will. As I hang up, the cave that's about to close comes within arm's reach. I keep my eyes focused on that black entrance and throw myself inside without looking back. My visibility dwindles to nothing. Behind me, I can hear the lapping of waves slowly subside. Oh, thank God the noise is over. Holy crap, that destroyed my ears the entire time. I really hope they don't do that again. Because holy jeez. The water currents in the ocean churned violently, and I can hear, all I can hear is a dull gurgling. I try to stabilize myself, but the undertow has me firmly in its grip, and it drags me into the blackness. Falling. I'm falling. The bright ocean surface grows more and more distant. What lies beneath the hole at the bottom of the ocean isn't a vortex, but a massive hollow. Cold air licks at my skin, and before I can react, I am dumped into a pool of water again. The rocks above me crash together with a dull thud, until the last of the light is swallowed up. This pool isn't deep. I can poke my head above its surface by just standing up. After some fumbling, I reach the water's edge. As my eyes slowly adjust to the dim light around me, I can fully take in this large undersea hollow. I look around, but there's no sign of Antonia. Since the conditions underground are not yet clear, I decide against shouting rashly. Instead, I start searching for Antonia with my eyes. This cave is extremely spacious, and a quick look around reveals someone atop a rock in the distance. Given the pale green monitor floating in midair near her, that must be Antonia. Antonia? Is that you? Professor? It's me. Why are you up there? Did you find something? There's a barrier here. I'm trying to break it. I'll come to you. Give me a few minutes. Several minutes later, the rock Antonia is on does not look all that tall, but after climbing it, I can keenly feel the distance between it and the ground below. Climbing up here was hard. How did you manage it? Oh, just a little trick. Still, I can't believe you actually climbed all the way up here in just a few minutes. I thought you were just tooting your own horn, Professor. Both these options are good. Physical training is essential for academic research. 'Tis but my secret to professordom. I regret opening my big mouth. So, why did you follow me down here? I didn't want you to run around unsupervised. Oh, don't start with all that fake nonsense. Never mind. It was my fault for actually trying to get a proper answer out of the one person among us who's best at messing around. Take a look at this, Professor. As I approach her, I suddenly realize that, though it's been drowned out by the green glow of her screen, Operand is slowly oozing out of her body. Wait a minute. How did you get hurt? Did something here attack you? You could say that. It's too complicated to explain. Try hitting this rock over here. As the glow of the tactical skill fades, a quiet sound comes from the bedrock above. In the next moment, the rock I struck glows faintly and my arm aches like it's been slashed by a sharp blade. The bedrock can respond to attacks? Yes, it can reflect our attacks and it takes very little time to do it. Why didn't you just tell me about it? Seeing it in action is quicker than an explanation, don't you think, Professor? The bedrock on the ocean floor is made of a special kind of operand, which is extremely dense. I tried contacting Persicaria, but I couldn't get through. I'm guessing its incredibly dense structure is blocking out communication signals. In other words, if we can find a region where the barrier is thinner, we can contact Persicaria. Yeah, that's like the best part of PNC. Since it's not grounded in reality, they can do a lot of crazy fantasy-like stuff. But I like it even more because it's sci-fi fantasy. Or the official term is science fantasy. Give me 1 minute here. I need to check my phone real quick before we continue. Maybe real quick. I just need to make sure that I have my phone ready on me, just in case I need messages. You catch on quickly, but that's assuming we can find a thinner portion of the barrier. If we can do that, I could get the two of us out of here in no time. I've been trying to send comm signals all this time. If there are any weak points or if the rock splits open again, I'll find them immediately. But since there's no way to be sure that these weak points do exist, my first plan was to bust a hole in it, and my attack rebounded on me. We've been through other underground passages before, but nothing like this happened. Could it be a special feature of this sector? No, there will be no need to disguise it as a bedrock if this were an ordinary sector function. All the other sector designs had their own functions. The fact that this jams signals and repels attacks looks like someone is secretly holding something in captivity and is preventing it from escaping. And as she thought, I'm certain I can decrypt this and open up a hole for us to escape from. No wonder Commander could handle the concept of Nirvana. Stuff like that is just a Tuesday in PNC. Probably, honestly. Well, yes and no. If the commander remembered everything, I would agree with you, yeah. But the commander didn't actually remember what happened in PNC until afterwards. Also, there's just one other thing. Let me guess. It has something to do with Odal's signal? If you guess it all, does that mean I don't need to keep explaining? I simply thought you weren't the sort who would drop your pursuit of Odal so easily and spend your time staring at the walls. You're really starting to piss me off. But yes, my tracking of Odal's signal has been severely disrupted. Right now, I only have a very rough idea of how far away she is. Still, it's not as though I came away empty-handed. The memory of that purple liquid I saw on my way down comes to mind. Let me guess. Entropic signals? Should I praise you for your clever deductions in a cutesy voice? I'd very much like that, but we have more important matters to deal with. At least you're well aware of our current situation. Antonia seems really pissed off that she can't explain anything, like a smart person. Antonia works quickly on her terminal, which shows several huge red dots slowly gathering together. But here! Just as Antonia said, a strange sound comes through the air. It's like something soft and sticky scraping over the rock, leaving behind a liquid splattering, and also like a wet lifeform dragging its feet as it slowly approaches. Through the faint light underground, we see the approaching beings. They have no solid shape and look like shellless invertebrates. From their from their cold signatures, they appear to be intricate creatures of some sort. 1, 2, 3. More and more of these purplish black agents are creeping in the darkness, and we can't get an exact count of their numbers. If we can capture them, we'll be able to learn more about these intropics. If their reinforcements vastly exceed our expectations, we may have nowhere to run. What should we do, Professor? Prepare for battle. Mission complete. 2 targets have been successfully rescued. I didn't think it would take so much out of me. On the beach, the green-haired agent is sitting on the sand, tugging on the black data cables that are scattered across the ground. Opposite her, Sol, who had just made it to safety, has her eyes glued in the direction of the ocean. Are you alright, Sol? Anna and the probe went exploring underground. I got experience leading underground expeditions too. If only I could have helped out. I'm sure the professor must have reasons for doing that. Also, did you just save us? You've already helped us a great deal. One person can't do everything by themselves, you know? Yeah, it was a brilliant rescue attempt. I saw the whole thing. The green-haired agent has appeared beside the two of them at some points, with her massive tits. I've seen a lot of dolls work in extreme conditions. What you two did just now was no less impressive than what they do. Thank you very much for your help just now. You're a doll, aren't you? Yep. I know you, Miss Persicaria of Project Neurocloud. I think I remember your file too. You should be Miss DeLacy of Swell Heavy Industries, right? Indeed I am. You remember my name after so long. That's everyone's leader for you. Persicaria, you know her? Not that well. All I remember is that she's a doll maintenance technician. Yep. My job is to perform maintenance on other dolls. Huh. You must know a doll's instructions very well then. Of course I do. Make sure you let me know if you're not feeling well anywhere solely. Solely? Yes, Warlock seems to like their giant tits. It was fate that we met. From now on, we're friends. Aren't you called Soul? That makes you Sully. I get nicknames to all my friends. Then nice to meet you, Deli. Hey, Persicaria, I like her. Why didn't you introduce us sooner? Frankly speaking, I didn't know Mr. Lacey all that well. Persicaria lowers her voice. Also, she already had a clique of her own friends while we're still in the cloud sector. As an outsider, I wasn't good at inserting myself into their interactions, so I don't understand her that much. She had a clique? But doesn't that mean she's easy to get along with? I suppose. What's the matter, Sully? What are you guys talking about? Lacey approaches them and Persicaria hastily changes the subject. Well, since you still remember us, that makes things easier. The truth is, we dolls who were stranded throughout Magracia have founded a group called the Exiles under the Professor's leadership. We came to this sector on a mission. Since you're a friend from the Neuroclaw sector, why not join us and work with us, Mr. Lacey? Huh? I can join you too? Thank you, Persicaria. But I can only travel with you for a while. At the very least, I won't be able to go back to the Oasis with you. Yeah? You'd rather keep wandering the Cloud Server alone? Oh, it's not like that, Sully. Actually, I got friends of my own here already. Friends? What do you mean? Well, like you, this is our first time in the Culty sector. I think we got here maybe half an hour or so earlier than you at most. I came here to look for my friend. Just like you, Exiles, I wound up working with some of the dolls from Project Neurocloud, who got stuck here as we tried to survive and progress together. So basically, there's a second Oasis? Our base has another name. Let's not talk about that for now. Why not? Just say the name. In any case, we're collecting resources throughout Magracia and working hard to survive. Not long ago, one of our friends went to the Culty sector on a scouting mission, but then we lost contact with him. His name is Sueyoi. Does that ring a bell, Miss Persicaria? Yeah. If I recall, he was a doll from Lab 42. Or 42 Lab. Yep. I entered Culty sector to look for him. I was on my way to the admin center to ask the administrator to run a search, but then I ran into that tsunami along the way. Seeing those huge waves out of the blue really startled me. I used to work in extreme environments back in real life, but the real world never had disasters that struck so quickly. Yeah, I couldn't react to it either. The tide just came in all of a sudden. Oh yes, you used to go on scientific expeditions before, right? I supported field expeditions myself as well. Really? Then we have lots to talk about. Soul? Let's not stray off topic. You go first. Well, so I grabbed onto a tree with my tail and managed to avoid the first wave. Then I managed to fall back to a safe area in time. Your tail? That's what I grabbed you with just now. Right on cue, the black data cables, which were draped over a rock for a suddenly twine up into a bundle and stand up with an audible ching. Huh? It's a tail? Yep. See? I can wiggle it like this too. The tail cable sways back and forth in time with the Lacey's cheerful words. This rings a bell. According to your profile, you perform maintenance on dolls with a tail composed of multiple data cables. In any case, I found you guys lost at sea after that. So I came over to help, and you know the rest. Now then, since I told my side of the story, isn't it your turn, Miss Persicaria? What is your mission here? Soul is about to speak when Persicaria glances at her sharply. She trails off hesitantly. We're looking for something here, but I'm afraid we can't disclose any details at the moment. Huh. That sounds hard. Is there anything I can do to help? I'm sorry, but it probably lies outside your field expertise, Mr. Lacey. I see. Still, if you're talking about unknown things, I've seen traces of something like that, you know? I came across a big puddle of some kind of liquid on my way here. It looked pretty gross. Liquid? Could you tell us more, Deli? It's not far from here. If you're interested, I'll bring you over so you can see. Sugar. This is traces of liquid entropy. I'm sure of it. Not just that, Soul. Do you see this? Persicaria bends down and picks a black feather out of the liquid entropy. A swan's feather. Could it be? Odile? He's commanding these intricate creatures. Looked like a trick wasn't wasted. Well, have you guys learned anything? Persicaria, I can tell which way they went from this liquid. So we could chase? But Mr. Lacey... Oh, it's okay. Don't mind me. I'll finish the mission first. Let's go, Persicaria. We found them. There's 3 of them in total. Good thing these guys aren't fast. There's more liquid entropy up ahead. Looks like these are stragglers. We won't be able to obtain the source code from these low order entropics, but maybe there's a high order one of them. They spotted us! Soul draws her blades and cuts down the first entropic creature before it can attack. Noticing the commotion, the other 2 entropics approach them. Persicaria summons up her operant and repels one of them, while Soul cleaves the other in half. Just as Soul is about to take care of the first entropic, she sees black data cables circling around behind the enemy. Ah! Deli, don't touch the tentacles! Lacey's tails is about to touch the entropic, but then the former suddenly pulls up at the last moment, and the entropic creature tentacles hit nothing but air. After that, the tail's midsection slams viciously into the entropic creature's head and sends it flying off into the distance. I didn't look you hit him like that. Are you alright, Miss Lacey? I'm fine. Are these your enemies? Don't just rush up like that. You're kind of a very dangerous virus. Sorry about that, but I just wanted to help you out, Sully. Plus, it just so happens that this is the way to the admin center, which is where I was headed along. Wait a minute. Did you say the admin center? The admin center's just up ahead? Could these entropics be going after the center administrator? Yep. And if the administrator gets infected, I won't be able to find my friend either. So let me go after them with you. if we end up fighting the virus, I can be useful too. Really? Would you be willing to help? That's great. Sol glances at the Lacey and then at Persicaria, and she suddenly makes up her mind with a nod. Sorry, Deli, but this is kind of important. We need to discuss this for a bit. You can give us a few minutes. YouTube's has some kind of problems. So the video's fine, but YouTube itself is kind of silly right now. Okay. Is anyone else having that problem? I guess I can check real quick. I can use a minute to catch my breath. Yeah, I'm having an issue too. It's going much slower than usual. Like, it's still loading, but it's way slower, and it's not because I'm streaming. I can usually pull up YouTube while I'm streaming just fine. So yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Since I stopped, let me go ahead and turn on the light. Mr. Carrier, did you notice anything wrong? Why'd you ask? Because you were clearly giving me a look just now that told me you to not trust her too much. I've been around you long enough to understand your cues. Yes. Well done, Sol. But why? She did save us, so why do you seem so wary of her? Is it because of what happened in the nerd class second before? Or because... I just don't get it. I trust your judgment, but I still want to know your reasons. The reason is simple. The Lacey is hiding something. Think about it. When we first met, we never once mentioned the Oasis. Yet she just went and brought it up. Don't you think that's weird? Well, now that you mention it, you're right. We've taken over several sectors to date, so it wouldn't be strange for wandering dolls to have her the Oasis. But then why is she pretending she doesn't know? So you're saying the Lacey is keeping a secret? I mean, she did just say that. I can't be sure, but it's best to be cautious. The Lacey knows we exist, but we know nothing of the base she mentioned. That does sound a little sinister. In other words, we're one step behind her in both intelligence and counterintelligence. Since she's got something up her sleeve, we ought to be cautious too. Right. Let's inform the professor. What's wrong, Persicaria? Actually, I've been trying to contact the professor for a while now, but I just can't get through. You can't get through? But how? Remember how we lost Old Owl's signal? Oh, you mean how it came back when the bedrock opened up? That's right. So that bedrock might be jamming signals. But in any case, we can't contact the professor at the moment So it does seem like a very bad situation. I see. Sol mutters to herself for a few seconds. Persicaria, we need fighting power right now. Croquet's still waiting for us, and we found traces of the entropy. There's no way we can't give chase, but we might not be able to take on the Interfix with just the two of us. While she does seem a little shady, like you said, my instincts are telling me that she means us no harm, for the time being at least. Let's just take her word. Let's just take us with us for now. Is that the conclusion you have reached after carefully considering our opinions? Our options, Sol? Yeah. I mean, I did rack my brain at least. I'll keep an eye on her at all times, just in case something really happens. I understand. You do have a point. We can't just tread water here either. We're in a race against time. Ah, you're back, Persicaria. How was it? Problem solved? You could say that. We believe it would be a good idea for us to move together. It's great. But it might be very dangerous. Are you alright with that, Mr. Lacey? I've seen all kinds of danger in the real world. It'll be fine. I see. Let's get along then, Mr. Lacey. Sure thing. Let's be friends, Percy and Sully. Being with friends is the best after all. Yep, leave it to me, Deli. Speaking of which, did you come to the Kopi sector by yourself, Miss Lacey? Huh? No. Actually, I came with a friend, but something happened halfway and got separated. Her name is... What's her name? What's her name? The twinner shrieks in the ear-piercing way unique to Interpix. The tentacles dangling below it suddenly tense up before it starts spinning like a buzzsaw and slashes at Antonia. The tentacles tear through the air, producing a sharp whoosh. You're 2 o'clock! Antonia quickly darts back to the right, while swiftly typing on her terminal. Data forms into a barrier in front of her. She bends down slightly, eyes fixed on where the entropic creature is attacking from, waiting to patch out the barrier the moment it breaks. However, the thing stops spitting the moment it touches the light screen. The twinner is sent flying several meters by the intense collision before collapsing to the ground, twitching uncontrollably and sending sticky, light purple operands flying everywhere. Wait a minute. These entropics are ridiculously weak! Antonia condenses operands into a ball and fires the bundle of red light from her fingertip, striking the twinner squarely in the middle of his torso. Scree. Based on our experience in the Pierre sector, an attack like that shouldn't even be able to breach the surface layer of an entropic creature. But right now, it's like a big charred hole in its body. 60? No, 40! Professor, these things only have 40% of defensive capability of similar entities from the Pierre sector. These don't even have 50% of our attack power. Make use of that terrain and wipe them out. Got it. Soon, Antonia has destroyed these bootleg copies of entropic creatures. They dissolve into a puddle of fluid which seeps into the ground. Instead of fighting to the death like the ones we've encountered before, the few who got away flee in a hurry. You won't get away from me so easily! Wait, Antonia, don't rush in! Just then, The purple-black tide washes in again. I pull Antonia back. This annoying tide again. By the time we find our footing, the sticky sound inside the cave has receded with the tide, and the cave grows still and quiet once again. I saw this coming, but it's still giving me the shivers. The tide's gone down. Let's give chase. Following the signal, Antonia leads us deeper into the cave. The further we go, the more dangerous our surroundings become. Let's say nothing. He gets it. Okay, I know what you want to say. Croquet and the others are pining their hopes on us. I'll listen to your commands from now on and keep us both safe. Say something already! Did you learn anything new from our battle, Antonia? The Interpix here are different from the ones which attacked the Oasis and the ones in the Pierda sector. They aren't fully formed yet. There's a lot of redundancy in their code, and they seem like some kind of prototype. In addition to that, they seem to be suppressed in some way. They're weak enough that we don't have to worry about taking battle damage. They're certainly weaker than the ones we encountered before, but they can't be that weak, right? Unless... Never mind. I haven't thought about the whole thing through yet. If I remember correctly, this is the first time we've encountered Interpix who voluntarily retreated, right? Huh? Antonia seems a little startled by my observation, but she soon regains her composure. Well done for noticing details like that in the middle of combat. Much as I hate to admit it, I realized one thing while talking with you, Professor. I'm sure our objective lies here. We have an objective that isn't Odile? When I arrived underground, I picked up a very powerful Interpix signal, stronger than even Odile's. And if the Interpix here are using tactics that is, if someone's commanding them, I'm fairly confident that there's a big fish down here that we're looking for. So you're saying that even if we don't catch Odile, we might be able to obtain the source code? It is a matter of might. We have to. Well, that's good news, but if we find it, we should contact Persicaria and the others to ensure that we have enough strength to take it on. You were just thinking about going out by yourself, weren't you? Antonia is your one and only, also thoughtful network security assistant. As if she would abandon the vulnerable professor and go after the enemy by herself. Like you're really happy about finding the clue. The underground cave is so big and empty that other than our footsteps, all we can hear is dripping water. We ally our sense of unease with occasional snippets of conversation until we reach the point where the signal stops moving. This is it. Those Interpix have formed a herd and they're protecting their den in the middle. They're operating like bees. The drone's protecting them, the queen. So that powerful signal's here? No. Are given signals of this intensity on their own label representing a small hive. Careful. The tide's coming in again! Just then, the purplish black tide churns once more. Antonia grabs my sleeve and we both dive behind a nearby rock pillar to avoid it. Sticky sounds rush towards us with the tide. The countless Interpix threaten to engulf us. Antonia deploys her barrier again, barely managing to hold off a horde of Interpix. In the next moment, I noticed a figure among the stalactites on the ceiling of the cave. Heads up! Antonia immediately turns the analysis lens on her terminal to where the figure is, but the Intrepid attacking from ahead makes it impossible for her to split her attention. The Intrepid that was in the air just a moment ago is now squirming futilely on the ground. A lance pierces its body, and the Intrepid creature immediately dissolves into a pool of liquid that vanishes beneath the ground. Meanwhile, the lance owner expertly extracts her weapon from the ground, then turns back to glance at us. I wonder that's why Wallace was purple. Feels bad. That's... Sensing danger, the intimate creatures sprawled on the ground quickly gathered into a group. As the tide surges, they shriek at the entity who fell out of the sky. Skeet. Pathetic. The tide surges to the ceiling of the cave in an instant, and the Intrepid's twisted cries echo throughout the underground cavern. She swings her lance in midair, and the spinning leaf blades at its tip move the tide of Intrepids in the direction she wants them to go. After that, she puts her lance away and vanishes below the surface of the ground, like she was diving in the water. This new girl was hot. Signal analysis complete. She's one of the dolls from Project Neuro Cloud. Did she just dive underground? Over there. A lance quietly emerges from the center of the Intrepid tide. The leaf blades at its tip spin rapidly, drawing the surrounding Intrepids into it. Several seconds later, the doll lands amidst the receding tide and flicks her lance, sweeping away the few Intrepids that remain. As Antonia and I move up, the last Intrepid is reduced to a puddle of fluid at her hands and vanishes. Before I can finish, the doll turns to look at us. Her face is covered by her helmet, and we can't make her expression in the gloom. My eyes seem to have met hers in an instant, but for a moment later she turns away. They'll be back. Be careful. As though to prove her point, the Intrepids immediately start pouring towards us from all around in an endless stream. Sensing my gaze on her, the doll looks back and nods up to me. I will fight with you. Please, have my back, Professor. And then, what did the professor decide on back then? Did he take that unfamiliar doll under his wing? Or did he reject her? What happened? Lacey is walking cheerily ahead of the other two along the shaded path, her tail swishing up and down behind her. Aw, tell me, Percy. Then the professor. Faced with that nigh irresistible wave of enthusiasm, Persecuria slowly finishes telling yet another story about the professor. That said, she carefully omits any key information out of caution. Oh, so that's how he saw the problem in the end? What a brilliant move! Oh, it's so touching. Wee! I expected nothing less from the professor. I didn't know such a creeping tale had unfolded in that sector. Lacey begins counting the stories Persecuria told on her fingers. Rossum, Cyclops, Helios. So you conquered all those sectors in a short time frame. As I thought, The professor's as brilliant and wise as rumors say. I need to write all this down. Oh, you do get it after all. The prof is awesome! I can't believe she is still hungry for more, even though I tell her stories along the way. You better be careful, Persicaria. What do you mean? At this rate, she's going to beat you to compiling quotations from the professor. Huh? Damn, okay. Take a look at that. You know who she reminds me of? Honduras. Percy, I've already written down all the stories you told me. Go on, to the next one. Huh? You want more? Yep. Tell me about the Enigma Center. Hold on. Mr. Lacey, do you know the professor from before? Huh? No? Really? Really? Then why you're so interested in the professor? You bet I am! I love humans who treasures dolls! So, literally just Commander? Like just that one person? And I love the professor who leaves dolls in the cloud server even more! I'll have to confirm that with the professor when we get back. Percy, Deli, I see it! Future yandere alert. Hey Nakamatsu, yeah, YouTube is kind of busted right now. It takes forever to load things, apparently. Based on what I checked like 30 minutes ago. Oh, thank goodness. I'm saved. Huh? But I want to learn more, you know? There, Persicaria will tell you more afterwards. Alright. You're a team leader after all, Sully. Thank you, Sol. You're so kind. I didn't think there had to be people that you couldn't handle, Persicaria. Wow, they are really recycling Ghost from Line 1 backgrounds, are they? Unless this was originally NeuroCloud backgrounds and they were ported over to Ghost from Line 1. Hello? Anyone home? It feels strangely quiet. That's not right. Very few sector administrators would leave their work area. Don't tell me we're too late. I can't say for sure, but there are no signs of a virus attack here, so we shouldn't assume the worst just yet. Or maybe the administrator saw the virus attack coming and just ran away. In any case, we'll need to search around inside there. Let me handle it. This is a great opportunity for me to show what I can do. Now watch this. With that, the Lacey's cable tail suddenly disperses and expands, the individual strands extending into the various rooms and corridors around them. Wait, you can use it like that too? I used to perform that trick for my friends all the time. I call it the tail probe technique. That's a surprisingly plain naming scheme you have there. A moment later, the lacy tail retracts. It doesn't look like anybody's there. Yeah, I thought the same thing, Nixon. Groping. Protect your anus. Could there be a basement in this building? If there were, there's no telling if the administrator is going to pop out from underground. Say what? You make it sound like the man is a zombie or something. Hey, that's cute. What a cutie patootie. Mwah! Well, she really did pop out. Are you the admin? Where'd you pop out from? I don't think she suddenly appeared. It's more like she's been standing there all along. We just didn't notice her. That sounds even scarier! Oof. No, get a grip. Hello, Miss Administrator? Say something already! Agents from outside should not be here. Ah, she spoke. Please, leave as soon as possible. We got a reason for coming here. Please leave as soon as possible. We're very sorry for interrupting your work, but we really need to ask a favor of you. Please, leave as soon as possible. Ah, hell! Don't tell me you got another dork on our hands so I can admit the admin at Hilo Sector. I'm not a dork. She spoke? Finding the right words is tedious. Please leave as soon as possible. Miss Administrator, how should we address you? Taranum. Would you mind hearing us out, Miss Taranum? No. Get out. I still have work to do. We came here to find a friend of ours. Friends are not what the scope of research. Now go. I still have research to do. For some reason, she strikes me as a very different type of variety of dorky administrator. Is it me, or does she look really tired? She's like a research doll who has worked 96 hours straight. Yeah, she's kind of like the exact opposite of you, Deli. Are you praising me? Doesn't matter. Now what do we do? Miss Taranum? Please leave as soon as possible. You just said you were doing research, right? What kind of research was it? Leave as soon as possible. We'll be going, but before that, let me guess. You're doing ecological research, right? Yes. Leave. In that case, the undersea structure and sectors should be within your job scope, right? Undersea structure? Never heard of it before. Now go! Wait. Don't go brushing off like that. We saw the bedrock open up with our own eyes. I never heard it before. Never seen it before. Never witnessed it before. Go! Won't be able to finish our research. Not going to listen to your nonsense. But what if we're not making things up? Don't you want to go figure things out as a researcher? Why does such a strange and bizarre ecology emerge from the bottom of the sea? Don't want to figure it out. Nobody asked me to research that. I want to go back to my room. That's being a bit too nerdy, don't you think?
Come on, Persicaria, say something. I thought of a way to get her to talk, but...
Persicaria eyes the Lacey with uncertainty, while the other two were talking to Taranum. Or is it Tyrannum? It's hard Tyrannum. While the other two were talking to Tyrannum, she secretly tried to contact the professor and Antonia again. There was still no signal. Persicaria scowls and finally makes up her mind. Miss Tyrannum? Go! You said that researching the underground isn't your job, but protecting and maintaining your sector should be your job, right? Yes, so outside agents should go. And we will. However, I can't say the same for the other beings. Other beings? Yes. Actually, we pursued a computer virus called Entropy to the sector. Also, we have reason to believe that this virus is now hiding inside the Copley sector. Since you haven't heard of an underground region in this sector, it's possible that the Entropy virus has hollowed out the region below us, like a rotten tooth. Ew, gross. Yeah. It's because a bookworm like you doesn't give a crap about what's happening outside that the Entropy virus could set up shop and take over this place. If anything happens here, you're going to answer for that. Why? Because ensuring the stability of the sector is an admin's job responsibility. So please check the underground, Miss Tyrannum. Don't believe you. Viruses are the Sanctifier's responsibility. Let them handle it. Wow, so she actually is just a lazy bum. A lazy hot bum. You really are. Call them over then. Call the Sanctifiers over you think you got what guts for it. I will. Go on, call them. They're just a bunch of lesser Sanctifiers. I can't even remember how many times I scrapped at this point. They're here. That was fast. Huh? Look out behind you! Oh! An Entropy Sanctifier suddenly appears at the doorway. With lightning speed, Soul draws her sword and blocks its attack. The hell? You call this a Sanctifier? Huh? You can take your huh and shove it down your ass! Sully, I'll help you. Careful. These monsters can infect you. Yeah. I'll provide shielding support. Good. Let's start by bringing it down. She's worse than Mekti. Maybe, maybe not. The reason why Mekti is so good is because she has a very dedicated drill sergeant. If she didn't have Fukai, I don't know what would happen to Mekti. The other Entropics are effective when we attack the high order Entropic in the center. This tactic's effective. Looks like this strategy is effective on the Entropics we've encountered so far. That's great. Can you cover me? I'll assault it. Leave it to us. As the last Entropic dies, the liquid entropy-infused tide fully recedes. The doll pulls her lands out of the entropic hive and returns to our side. The battle's over. Ooh, new track.
Perfect and efficient. It's hard to believe that you only just started fighting these things after coming here. I simply used my abilities to my advantage. The professor's directions were very helpful. I might not even be a match to you in one-on-one battle above ground. Well, neither of us were a tactical doll to begin with, so we're the same in that respect. Are you saying that the professors might have been even more efficient if he were commanding tactical dolls? Perhaps the professor might have had experience. No? Here, here. I conquered many lands far and wide by leading the army of tactical dolls. Oh, never mind. I knew you would give a serious answer to that. Very humorous of you, Professor. If you got the gall to call this humorous, you must be utilizing the word as a synonym for asking for a beating. Perhaps that method of lightening the mood was not quite appropriate. Just then, as if sensing my gaze, she turns to meet my eye. I refrain from opening my mouth. The unfamiliar doll seems to hesitate a little, then she smiles. Hello, Professor. I believe this is the first time we've met. I am Hasuchiri. She extends a hand to me, however, our hands only touch for a brief moment before she lets go and nods to me. So what are you doing here? My companion Sui Signal vanished here, so I came looking for him. I didn't expect to run into others in this place. Do you know what's going on in the underground cavern? As you can see, Professor, the bedrock up there is no hindrance to me. Unfortunately, I have not been investigating this place very long. When it comes to conditions deeper within, I might not know as much as you do. You want me to travel with you, Professor? Given the present situation, I should be able to travel with you for a while. Well, not just for a while. We established a base in the sector called the Oasis. If you're willing, you can join us. That is a great suggestion, but right now I simply want to find Suya first. I will not have the luxury of contemplating other matters until this vital task is completed. Understood? I'm glad you understand, Professor. Now then, let us get along during the journey that is to come. Well, since we're temporary allies, let's share what we know. Alright. Now uploading synchronized information. Upload complete. I've learned anything new. Good news. The info Hasuchiri gave us was useful. We can basically confirm the existence of a tree-shaped network among interact units. Tree-shaped. So basically top to bottom. Like the Ogus protocol. That means there's someone high above, a mastermind basically, that's controlling the interface. In this sector at least. That's what they mean by tree-shaped. They're different from the ones we've encountered in Pyrrhus, not just in their source code, but also in their command structure. The Introverts in the Copley sector know how to fight in unison, with higher order entities issuing commands to the lower ranks. I see. No wonder the other individuals are temporarily incapacitated when we take down the higher order Introverts. I guess that's because they need some time for another high order Entropic to take over command of them. If we can afford to, we should focus fire on these hive leaders. That should make the remainder easier to deal with. And that sounds like very useful information. Since there's good news, what about the bad? The bad news is that this is the 5th Entropic hive we destroyed. The deeper we go, the more these mini hives we'll encounter. The number of these hives increases with every step we take. It's going to slow down our exploration speed. That doesn't sound too bad. Is the signal you're tracking deeper within? Yes. We'll need to go much deeper. Have you found any trace of Suiyoi? Hatsuchiri shakes her head. I haven't been able to pick up other doll signals either. Have you considered that Suiyoi might not be here? The last time we detected Suiyoi's signal, it was in the Copley sector. Also, comms on the surface were perfectly functional, so if there was anywhere we wouldn't be able to get his signal, it would have had to be underground. What if you can't find him down here? He's here. I'm sure of it. Is he very important to you? He is my companion, and also the only other doll of the same model as me. Does that make you brother and sister? Brother and sister? Why do you say that? In human terms, a pair of individuals created by the same person would be called siblings. I see. Then I guess that would be the case. Suiyoi is my younger brother and a comrade of mine, so I must find him. While I don't understand the concept of siblings, I'm not going to stop you if that's the reason why you're taking this risk. But before that, I want to record the environmental changes in this area. Huh? What's wrong? Hatsuchiri queries and walks over to Antonia. You should take a look for yourself. It seems we aren't the first visitors to this place. What are we looking at? Hatsuchiri uses her weapon to lift an object wrapped in goop from inside the liquid entropy and shows it to me. There's a damper here that's been chewed up. Looks like it was left behind by a resident agent from a certain sector. We aren't the first batch of agents to have come this way, Professor. And the agents who came before us were probably devoured by those monsters. Hatsachuri lowers the damper into a pool of water and swirls it around a little to wash off the liquid entropy on it, then puts it away. What's wrong with the damper? Nothing that I could see. It's just that when we return to the surface, I can return it to the administrator. Perhaps the administrator is worried that about the disappearance of this agent, or perhaps she already knows about all of this. After all, there's no way a sector administrator wouldn't know about what's going on within her own sector. Perhaps. But this is a work habit of mine. You seem very calm. Not worried about Suiyoi? Suiyoi isn't weak. I'm sure he wouldn't have been devoured so easily by monsters like these. I must not let my agitation jeopardize my chances of finding him. However... Hatsachuri purses her lips. Her expression doesn't change, doesn't seem to be as calm as her tone suggests. Professor, I like to move forward ASAP. What do you plan to do? Let's go. Then I will continue scouting underground like before. I'll contact you if I pick up anything unusual. With that, she sinks underground. As we proceed further into the cave, I hear a strange sound. It is a rhythmic tremor. Initially, it is very faint, but as we head towards the location indicated by Antonia, it becomes louder and louder, pounding onto my eardrums like the rhythm of a heartbeat. I look to Antonia beside me. She's gripping the edges of her terminal tightly and her eyes are staring into the distance. into the unknown darkness. Antonia, did you? Ah! What? Why the drastic reaction? It's nothing. I was just filtering out the noise from the signal returns. Why did you call out to me all of a sudden? Did you hear something that sounded like a heartbeat? I did. And it isn't just sound either. She indicates the ground beneath her feet. The hard gray rock is covered in bulges and grooves of varying thickness, crisscrossing over each other in a way that looks both like plant roots and blood vessels on an organ surface. It's a giant penis! The rock is covered with these things, and their texture is similar to a rock, yet slightly different. It's like we're walking through some lifeform's nervous system. The signal reaction is also growing stronger. Just how strong is it going to get? We can't just react at any time. If we think they're stronger than we anticipated, we can always contact Persicaria first. I know. I put the task of cracking the barrier at the back end. Regracia is a world of data, so why is there the sound of a heartbeat here? It makes me feel really uncomfortable. The root nodes you're talking about exist underground as well, but they are not quite the same as you describe. They're underground too? Could you bring up a section for us to look at? I'll try. A few seconds later, Hasuchiri emerges from the ground, and the hole closes up behind her. They're not made of rock. They look like parts of some agent. I cut off a piece, here. This is the intricate code structure. They're still animate, but they're not individuals. More like part of some living creature. The ones on the surface have already hardened. Are there parts underground still active? Is that so? I can't tell. Only that they can't pretend they can't be parted like the bedrock. Does it affect your movements while you're underground? A little. But it doesn't really matter. I've encountered similar root systems when I worked underground before. All I had to do was cut them up. Can you analyze the signal they're carrying? I can try. Several seconds later, a soft garbled sound emerges from Antonia's terminal. At first it's just an instinct moaning, like a freshly born beast. As Antonia raises the audio resolution, it gradually turns into something like a woman's voice. You can hardly call it language, yet it clearly conveys emotion, anger, sorrow, and intense desire. Like a heart howling because it can't wait to break free of the ribcage incarcerating it. Antonia presses the stop button. That's what it contains? Just then, the ground suddenly trembles again. The tentacle-like things gripping the ground begin to shudder, and small chunks of operants fall from the cavern roots into the pools of water. Another earthquake? No. It looks like the bedrock is shaking. What's happening? The signal radius is growing. The barrier signal jamming is gone. Persicaria, do you read? The tremor suddenly stops. Antonia's call echoes throughout the cavern. The light of the transmitter has gone dim once more. Did the signal cut out again? Yeah, it did. Still, thanks to the abnormality in the barrier, I managed to scan further. This time I managed to precisely pinpoint the location. Not only that, I also know the exact disposition of the enemy forces. Are there any dull signals at the position of that high-order entropic? Sadly not. Perhaps the opposition has a counter-jamming system, because I picked up some noise in the signal. Noise? What kind of noise? I'll play it for you. This is an encrypted message from Suiyoi. He's trapped somewhere nearby and he's calling for help. That's an encrypted message? I can't believe there are encryption methods that I don't know about. No, I didn't realize there was a form of encryption. When was this developed? It's a special ability of our model. It's mainly used to transmit messages underground. Normal systems simply dismiss it as noise when they pick it up. Suiyoi wouldn't use it under normal circumstances. The fact that he's using it must mean the situation must be very severe. I'm sorry, Professor, but we'll have to part ways here. I need to go. I don't want to stop you from saving your friend, but the signal I've been tracking is extremely strong. It will be very dangerous if you go alone. That's alright. I'm stronger than Suiyoi in terms of fighting ability and functional performance. I want to save him ASAP. Every second counts. If I make you hurry along with me, you might face greater danger. I understand. Good luck. Wait a minute. What if the signal source is with Suiyoi? You mean the high-order entropics might have captured Suiyoi? Now that you mention it, judging by their approximate locations, that is actually quite likely. Is YouTube being weird for anyone else? Yeah, YouTube is having a crap right now. They shit in the bed. Yeah. I'm wondering if Nixon is the only one who can watch the stream at the moment. I'm not sure about anyone else. We can only pick up his signal at this distance with Antonia's help. I doubt you've managed to pinpoint his application yet. And if our targets are not in the same place, we can still part ways then. Indeed. You have a point, Professor. However, rescuing him is still my top priority. Once I verify he is not with your target, we will go separate ways. He is to a jolly companion. Honestly, it's the same thing. Here's to a jolly cooperation then. After clearing away the entropics blocking our path, our vision suddenly lights up. The rock here is riddled with holes by purplish-black liquid operants. The wind makes a high-pitched and mournful noise as it blows through the fine holes in the rock. Is she the high-order entropic you're looking for? In the faint purple light, I see a massive figure perched on a rock. Hi. Her upper body looks like any other agent's, but massive tentacles protrude from the tumorous growth that is her lower body, twitching and sensing the conditions of their surroundings. It seems she has noticed us, because she starts to struggle, as though trying to shrug free of something. That's a Dylan look. Wah! Her ear-piercing shriek fills the underground cavern. All the operants in the area are gathered within her. There's no doubt about it, she sees a source of signal. Alright, so it's 8 and 9. Let me double check. I think this is a chapter where there's actually dialogue and stages. I'll just double check that. So we were at Pulsate. Okay. So if there is any, it's not here. We're not close to here. Looks like there really is a virus. I told you it was real! But didn't you call a Sanctifier over? Why did the virus-infected creature come over instead? Don't know. Maybe the Sanctifiers got infected. You don't say! In any case, this proves that there's a virus in the Copley sector, right? So will you help us investigate the entropy now, Miss Taranum? It's a pain. It's your goddamn job as an administrator! Fine. What should we do? We're hoping you can use your sector administrator permissions to help us find the owner of this feather. Persecutor hands the feather Odal dropped to Taranum. Fine. Not too far, I hope. Less complaining, more moving! Soul drives Taranum with her and out of the admin center. Persecutor and DeLacy slowly fall behind them. Miss DeLacy? What's up, Percy? Are you okay? This was your first time fighting those monsters. They're quite a handful, aren't they? Oh, I'm fine. Don't dismiss me based on my looks. I'm a pretty good fighter, you know? If we have a chance later on, I'll tell you about how I wrestled a brown bear while I was a roving doll mechanic. If only the professor could also be there to hear the story. Hopefully you get the chance. Are you sure it's this way? Yep. It feels like we're back at the beach from before. See, that's where we got swept away. Hey, are you seeing anything unusual along this stretch? No. I want to go home. Will you be serious about this? Any further forward and you'll end up in the sea. If we can't find anyone even after coming all this way, maybe the person you're looking for was swept away by the tsunami in the first place? But we didn't see her back then. She looks half human, half entropic. I recognize her even if we were turned into ash. Something in Taranum tenses up, as if she noticed something. Imagine if DeLacy was Anders in the past life. I know, right? He really does give off that energy. Hey, what are you looking to me for? What's that behind there? Taranum doesn't answer. Instead, she pulls herself free from Soul's grip and starts running towards the sea. Hey, hey, hey! What the hell are you doing? Got you. You know what? That didn't sound like her grabbing Taranum. That sounds like her beating her up. Which I'm sure she actually wants to do, but yeah. Ow! Be gentle. I'll be gentle when you stop pulling stunts off like that. Now talk, why did you run off? I need to hurry. Hurry? For what? Need to hurry. Need to hurry. She's stronger than she looks. What's going on? Persicaria? Hang on, Soul. It's a transmission from Antonia. They got through for a second. Really? What did she say? They didn't say anything. The signal got cut off before she could speak. All I heard was some noise as well as something that sounded like a heartbeat. What are you saying, Persicaria? Why would there be a heartbeat in the cloud server? I don't know. I am more concerned about how comms got restored temporarily. Maybe there's an underground entrance nearby, so the signal got better? I experienced something like that in the past when I was working underground with my friends. You really can't do anything, Dilly. In that case, should we get closer to the sea? Maybe we'll be able to contact the professor and the others again. Hang on, Persicaria. Don't get so worked up whenever the professor's name comes up. I know what you're thinking, that something must have happened underground if comms were suddenly restored. But our priority right now is to find Odile. If she's still hiding nearby, she could ambush us at any time. Must hurt. No. It's too late. Taranum, who has been struggling in Soul's arm all this time, suddenly stops and stares dumbly at the sea. Too late? What are you talking about? She's here. Wait, you mean... Before Soul can finish, she senses a gaze on her back. Practically on instinct, she ducks to the side. Black claws whistle past her ears. Oh! Then, riding her momentum, she does a flip and lands a kick on the attacking Black Shadow. Not expecting the blow, the figure is sent flying several meters away. Sully! I'm fine. Take care of the admin. Soul draws her twin blades and plants herself between the shadows and the others. After being kicked into the shallow waters, the ambusher slowly rises and reveals her true identity. Odile. The dark purple on the former administrator of the art sector seems deeper than before, and the traces of her bestial metamorphosis are more obvious too. Seawater and cloudy liquid entropy mix together and drifts off strands of her hair. This is... Black Swan! This individual doesn't look like the sanctifier I saw before. Do you know her, Sully? Yeah. She was once a sector administrator. We have a history. Just as Soul is about to face off with Odile, Odile waves her hand. Several low-order entropic individuals then crawl out of the ocean, burying their claws and fangs as they approach. So that's where you were hiding. Are you cowards or what? Since you showed up, let's have a good clean fight! Odile ignores Soul. She spreads her black wings and her feet slowly lift off the ground. Oh no, you don't! Soul tries to run up and intercept Odile, but the entropic creature is already charging at her, forcing her to hack away its attacking tentacles with a swing of her blade. When she looks again, Odile has already flown over everyone's heads, heading for land. More rustling comes from behind her. The intricate individuals lying in ambush within the shadows emerge en masse, leaving Soul too busy to worry about anything else. Persecuria and DeLacy take up fighting stances too. Sully, we're coming to help you. I'm leaving those few over there to you, Deli. She's trying to use them to buy herself time. Don't let her get away. Persecuria, I need shield support. On it. Here we go. Cell steps on the head of a nearby Entropic and uses it to launch herself towards Odile. However, Odile is just a bit higher than Soul and her chop hits nothing but air. Go, damn it! Just as she's about to fall, Soul drops her shorter weapon and launches it with a kick. Ugh. The blade completes a revolution in the air, and the hilt hits Odile in the abdomen. She immediately starts spiraling unsteadily towards the ground. Got her! We're done over here! Yeah, that should have hurt her. We'll head this way and pursued her. Look out, Soul. From the quantities of liquid entropy we found earlier, those probably aren't all the forces she's brought along. There might be entropics covering her retreat along this path. Yeah, got it. As though to validate Persecuria's guess, entropic creatures restart emerging from either side of the path. Piece of cake. Searing! Soul casts the flames on both her swords towards the board and annihilates the group blocking her path. I got fire, damn it! There you go. So that was Black Swan. Okay. Let me use the bathroom first. I'll be right back.
Okay. This. That's funny. I agree, it has been. I don't know, I think I'll fuck that.
Ooh. Ah. Her tentacle's too hard to handle. Several massive tentacles thrash wildly in an area around the higher order Entropic, easily breaking up our offensive. If only we could get close. Got it. Mind your front.
That goop ain't gonna be good. I could really say something about that, but I'm not, since I'm the streamer. I'm sure if Dylan was here, he would say something about that.
In front?
Hatsachuri doesn't answer. Instead, she splits a tentacle in front of her in two with a swing of a spear before leaping into the ground again. And in the next moment, she appears in front of Antonia. Crash. Right after Hatsachuri appears. Oh, sorry. Hatsuchiri. That's how you say it. Tentacles burst through the ground behind her. However, Anna's code packets fly out at almost the same time and swiftly immobilize them. Finding code! At the same time, Hatsuchiri's spear pierces through the tentacle grappling with Anna. Hatsuchiri grabs Anna and instantly switches positions with her. It's up to you. This is close enough. Analyzing target. Finding program. Ready. The massive high-order Entropic seems to have sensed something and turns towards us. The ground bulges up and splits open, and the sound of cracking rocks fills our ears. The dull, heavy heartbeats grow more intense, and even the ground trembles, like we were stepping on a raw, live heart. I already did, Pokey. You're too late. Commence all-thread DDoS attack! Huh? The high-order Entropic puts up no resistance as Antonia pins her on the spot. She tilts her head and looks towards Antonia with confusion. DDoS. Look out! Hatsuchiri rushes forward and grabs Antonia's arm as I let out a warning cry. Both of them roll to the side. A tentacle suddenly erupts out of the ground where Antonia is standing. Its tip blindly quests through the air for a bit before disappearing back underground. Thank you. I can't believe she could reach so far. No problem. You also helped me with those underground tentacles earlier. Speaking of which, did she just parrot what I said? I saw it all from behind. She's becoming more and more familiar with our attack patterns. I mean, she's learning? But the speed at which she's growing, we'll probably see more things that exceed our understanding. In any case, we'll need to come up with new tactics.
If we split up, with one group trying to distract her while the other tries to ambush her, we might have a shot at winning this. I mean, I guess you can have 2 groups, but there's 3 of you, so one person is technically not a group. I understand. If you can pin her down on the surface, I can launch a swift attack by going on the ground. This sort of close combat is very dangerous. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes. This should be the best solution available to us at the moment. I'll be counting on you for cover. She stabs her weapon into the ground and burrows straight downward. Hey, you're moving too fast! Oh, forget it. Let's finish this up quickly. Professor, stay back! Interesting. Move further back. I need to make something here that will draw her attention. Green operands glow around Antonia's body. I'm not sure if it's just my imagination, but the higher order Entropic has been staring at Antonia the whole time. Entropics, come. With her garbled words, the number of cracks on the ground start to grow. This time, what comes through them are not tentacles, but densely packed lesser Entropics. Going for the monster horror tactic that you're so good at again? But I'm prepared for this. The low order Entropics, which have just emerged, are immediately bound by Antonia's programs. Their first ranks are stuck in the passages, blocking the path of the Entropics behind them. However, they are not stalled for long. The Entropics trapped in the fissures began chewing through their colleagues above them. The binding program soon lose effect, and the monsters rush at us like a tidal surge. Damn it, there's just too many of them! Low order Entropics have practically fused together into a single being as they surround Antonia. Even when their front ranks are destroyed, new ones fill the gap almost immediately. I continue observing the surroundings, until the moment comes when all the Entropics are grouped into one place. Now! Orbital strike! The cluster Entropics are taken by surprise and reduced to ashes by our combined attacks. Well done, Professor. Realizing that her attack isn't working against us, the higher order Entropic lowers their head and wraps her tentacles around the rock. They start slowly slithering downward. That direction. She's not coming at us, so where's she going? Just as the higher order Entropic looks down, Hatsukiri emerges from the rock wall next to her. The higher order Entropic senses Hatsukiri approach immediately, but the latter's lance is still one step ahead. Ah! It hurts. Hatsukiri's attack pierces through her body, and the higher order Entropic makes a garbled noise that sounds like a wail. It hurts. Ah! Let me go. Her tentacles start thrashing wildly. She raises a stout tentacle and begins pounding the roof of the cavern. The entire room starts trembling in response. Suiyoi! Don't tell me. The rocks have already been severely weakened due to Entropic corrosion. Now the stalactites are crumbling and falling from the ceiling, like heavy ballista bolts falling from the sky. Hasachiri is forced to submerge underground to avoid them, while Antonia and I have to run and hide. Where the hell is she going? Her signal moving away from us. She's trying to escape. Don't go out, mind the falling rocks. He seems to be shouting something else, but the sound of the falling rocks drown it out and I can't make it out. After who knows how long, the tremors finally stop. We emerge from between the rocks and meet up with Hasachiri. I'm glad you're both alright. Your target has vanished, but Suiyoi's signal is still nearby. I could sense Suiyoi's signal when she attacked the grotto ceiling just now. It's very likely that he's above us. Above us? Indeed, the Intrepid signals I picked up far exceed what we've seen so far. It would seem that there is another space above this cavern. He might be trapped by the Intrepix and unable to free himself. But he keeps sending us repeating message, so things look very grim. What do you plan to do next? We intend to pursue that high-order Intrepix. That's what we came here for. I see. In that case, our partnership is coming to an end for real this time. I think we need her help. Perhaps we can continue to travel together and find your friend afterwards. I'm sorry, Professor. Soyoi is in a very bad state right now, and I simply can't abandon him. But before that, perhaps. Goodbye then, Professor. Hasachiri takes my hand. After a quick shake, she dives back into the ruined ground and vanishes from sight. Nixon, that's why I said that. I was like, we kind of need her. And Tony wouldn't gotten fucked out the butt without her, so. Strange. This makes no sense. Are you talking about Hasachiri or the High Order Intrepid? Neither. Come take a look at this, Professor. What? This is... I look in the direction where Antonia is pointing and see ruined machine parts peeking out from underneath the ruined rock walls. At first I wondered if it was an agent who had accidentally stumbled in here or if it was left behind by a sanctifier. But on closer inspection, it looks like it was installed here from the beginning and then damaged by an external attack. Can you determine its original purpose? That'd be very difficult. It's too badly damaged and eroded. I'll need some time to perform a more detailed analysis. Man-made devices in an Intrepid lair. Very suspicious indeed. Also, Professor, don't you think this high-order Intrepid had almost zero hostile intent? We've wrecked a lot of Intrepid hides along the way here, but they were all composed of the most basic Intrepids surrounding a somewhat higher-order Intrepid. Despite being the highest-order Intrepid here, she had hardly any subordinates around to protect her. Still, time is limited, and all we can do is keep pursuing her. Yeah, we can't let her go. Okay, and the others are still waiting for us. We need to get her source code ASAP. Let's see how much is left. Because we're hitting the 2.5 hour mark. Yeesh, this is a lot. I might not be able to finish it all today. Let's see. Damn it, she's flying all over the place. Persicaria, I'm going after her. Something's not right. Soul, come back! Huh? Okay. Soul bisects the intricate creature, charging up behind her with swings of her sword, and jumps back to Persicaria's side. What's wrong, Percy? I think our pursuit was too successful. Soul, can you send me your combat logs? Let me sort out the terrain info. There we go. Thanks. As I thought. What'd you find? Odal's speed and the low-order Interpix blockade ought to be enough to shake us, but she seems to be trying to lure us somewhere. Oh, so it's reverse tracking then? I'm familiar with that. Let me go take a look. You're dead on, Persicaria. I just analyzed our pursuit route and our current terrain info. If we continue on the route we're going down, she's trying to lead us here. That's the direction of the ecological observation post. So you can say useful things after all. This is bad. Can't let her go there. The observation post? What's there? She climbed up again! What was that just an automated response? Well, at least we verified the location. We can head out now. Let's head to the ecological observation post. We can't let Odal go, can we? Why don't you go to the ecological observation post while I go after her first? If you and Percy are alright, then Odal won't run away. We just need to... All we need to do is head to the observation post and intercept her. Yes. Mr. Lacey, could you lend me some operants? You want to borrow operants? Oh, I'm sorry. We're just temporary partners. Asking you for operants is just rude. Well, that's not the problem. It's just that the way I give operants is a little rough. Lacey's tail switches around as she speaks. That's alright. Now's not the time to quibble about such details. Then allow me. That really is an unexpected method. Do we really have to do this? You desperately need operants right now, don't you, Percy? Just bear with it, because here I come. Huh? I didn't think you should tell that way. That's a doll maintenance technician for you. I don't know, but she stick up her ass? I have no idea. After finishing their preparations, Persicaria and company rushed straight to the ecological observation post. This is it. Ahead of us should be... most likely. Wait a minute, it's Odile! A black figure is floating in the air, not far from the observation post. She hovers above the ocean surface, flapping her roughly formed black wings as she stares at the dolls with an ice-cold gaze. We meet again, oh dragon-slaying heroes. It seems you predicted how the script would go. How talented. However, peeking backstage ruins the experience. A proper audience should not do such things. Can you talk like a normal person? Did you split the bedrock and cause that tsunami? The master needs a seedbed. Finding a new stage for her is our mission. All the necessary conditions are present here. That is all. I knew it. The underground has been infested by the entropy. That means the Professor and Antonia... You actually understood that, Persicaria? How about the Prof and Anna? Did you meet them on the ground? There are more suitable stages for such rising stars with bright futures. More heart-rending tragedies await them. As for you, it's time for you to make your exit. In an instant, Odal turns into a cold black streak, diving straight for Soul. Yeah! Soul immediately draws her longsword and ruthlessly slashes forward. Blade and claw collide with a sharp clang. Is that all you have after being improvised? Soul blocks Odal's attack with sheer force, halting her advance. As she maintains her grip on her sword, Soul adjusts her posture so that she can reach for the short sword on the right side of her waist. If Odal retreats, she can immediately draw the short sword and cut her open. But if Odal continues maintaining the lock, she won't be able to avoid the other's attacks. You stepped into it this time! Battle was never the specialty of this body, and the method's modifications are not yet complete. Which is why I have no intention of relying on brute strength like a fool. In the next moment, underdeveloped tentacles emerge from under Odal's wings, spraying liquid entropy. Huh? Soul knows she can't block that in time, so she kicks Odal away and leans back to avoid the spray of entropy. Even so, a few drops manage to make contact with her lower abdomen. A green glow envelops the area where the liquid entropy touches her skin almost instantly. A thin barrier of operands neutralizes entropy, which crumbles into white operand particles before falling off. Whew! Thanks, Persicaria. Careful, she fled into the sea. Having failed in her attack, Odal is now hovering over the water again. She seems to be using the ocean as a natural barrier. Nobody present can move on water, which means it can't strike back at her. I can't reach her with my blades. Persicaria, can you attack from afar? I can't aim properly, she's too agile. Damn it, if I'd known, I should have had the professor send me a cannon. Sully, she's coming for another pass. Yeah. Soul slashes at the place where Odal is diving, but they both miss each other again. Stage combat is quite tedious. It's time to do some variation. Odal turns around in midair and rushes at Persicaria, who's providing Soul with a shield. Soul! Keep your eyes on me. I'm your opponent here. Soul manages to get in front of Persicaria in time and deflects Odal's attack again. Persicaria, Deli, move up close and back me up with operands. Bring that dorky administrator over too. Don't give her a chance to make another ambush. Hold on. Got it. Fighting wild beasts is my specialty. I can protect you at this range. We'll wear her down and look for an opening. Got it. Odas dies several more times, but Soul blocks her attempts to attack repeatedly. However, contrary to expectations, Oda's movements do not grow slower over time. In fact, she seems to be gaining strength as she fights. In fact, it is Soul who is starting to tire under the relentless assault. It's strange. She's been flapping around in the sky all this time. Oh, she's not slowing down. Is she a monster? Okay, she is a monster. Where are you looking? Showing the audience your back is a rookie mistake in theater. Yeah! Oh, please, I can split my attention when dealing with the likes of you. A grand performance is about to begin. And you are both the audience and the dancers. Ah. Damn it, what a pain. You can't go on like this. Shiwara is out. Ah, seriously! If only I could fly too! Fly. So, I got an idea. Oh, that's supposed to carry it for you. Mr. Lacey. Always happy to help. Huh? What you call Deli? Wait, don't tell me go into... Lacey looks at the two of them and pauses for a moment. Then she smiles knowingly. I got it. Get ready, Sully. No talking during the performance. Although cannot, or perhaps she does not want to understand what they're talking about. But after another round of attacks, Odal still flaps her wings and retreats higher up in his air out of caution. Now, send it out, Deli. Okay. In the next moment, the Lacey turns 180 degrees and swings her tail, aiming at Soul. Whoa! The rubber cables wrap tightly around Soul's feet. Once they secure her, the Lacey spins another revolution. The massive centrifugal force rips Soul off the ground and sends her flying along a perfect curve through the air. Just as Soul reaches her terminal velocity, the Lacey tail releases his grip. Sully missile, fire! What? Like a loose arrow, Soul shoots out and instantly catches up with Odal in midair. Odal tries to evade her, but one of her wings suddenly loses balance. First, the carrier's hash rate attack has caught up with her in the right moment. Wire through isn't exactly an easy thing. Thank you, Miss Odile. You... Searing Lion Slash! Soul's twin blades instantly ignite and cut down mercilessly towards Odile. Ah! The crescent of flame cuts through the air, and the blazing edges of Soul's blades instantly ignite the feathers on Odile's wings. Soul makes a neat landing. At the same time, Odile crashes heavily into the ground without her wings to support her. Angry bird away up to her, true. Brought you down at last. Well fought. I approve of your performance. But this can't end yet. The final stage is not yet prepared. Now the Master Minions will continue this dance. So, look out. She's directing all the Interpix around us to cover her escape. Get back here! A few minutes into the pursuit, Antonia's comes to a halt. I lost her. Any other solutions? Not for the moment. Did the signal vanish? No, she suddenly began taking countermeasures against my tracking methods, and there's heavy signal disruption here. Simply put, I was tracking her through her signal strength. As the only Intermix leader in the entire underground, tracking that high-order Intermix should have been easy. Then she directed all of her Intermix to cluster up to disrupt my scans. Now all the Intermix signals are of similar strength. She's learning faster than expected. A rare look of frustration appears on Antonia's face. I was careless. let me take a look at the tracker. What? Fine. Considering your crazy ideas sometimes work out. I take the tracker from Antonia and study it. The green display is covered in red dots. The size of these red dots seem to indicate the strength of the signal. However, as Antonia said, all the red dots look pretty much the same now. However, I discovered something she may have overlooked. Look at this area. What's over there? Wait a minute! Over here, the signal density in this region is distinctly lower than the other areas. Maybe there's something here that she's worried or afraid of. That's right. Whatever their reason, the Intropics are trying to avoid this place. That's our only clue. Let's go. Soon we come to a halt once again. There is no other path. A flat wall of rock tells us that we have arrived at a dead end. This is it. But it's a dead end. Could they have been misdirecting us? I don't think so. Our camouflage succeeded, so there'd be no further need to misdirect us. Antonia, try scanning the wall. Alright. Initiate the analysis mode. A green scanning beam sweeps over the rock wall in response to Antonia's command. One sweep follows another, and the grid pattern scan lines form a perfect rectangle in the rock wall. A perfect rectangle? Hang on, Antonia. Don't you think the scan lines are too regular? So, what if they're regular? What do you mean? Antonia realizes what I'm hinting at and gathers her operands to attack the wall. The struck portion of the rock wall glows faintly. The attack then immediately bounces back at where we are. Only we were already expecting it and invaded. This isn't an ordinary rock wall. It's a barrier just like the bedrock on the sea floor. There ought to be a path behind it. The barrier can block off signals and automatically counterattack. That explains the localized signal disruption. Whoever designed this place is pretty smart. Professor, you did great. Okay, saying that, I'll take it back. She sauts past me and heads straight for the rock wall. So, can you open it? The barrier here is much thinner than the ocean floor. This shouldn't take long. Give me 10 seconds. She's just a really angry girlfriend. 8 seconds later, a ding comes from Antonia's terminal. The rock wall slowly vanishes and blue light spills out from inside. An azure-colored room appears before us. Once we know it's safe, Antonia and I exchange looks before heading in together. This place looks like it's been robbed. The internet reactions here are very weak and the room's layout is simple and clear. There's nowhere for them to hide. Place. It honestly wasn't built by the high-end, high-order Intropic. Well, the builder, wherever they are, they don't want this room to be found. In any case, let's investigate this place. The sofa is drenched in liquid entropy and leaking operands. There are several markers pens lying behind a cushion, half melted in a puddle of liquid entropy. A purple flower blooms lightly on the back of the sofa. Is this ornamental plant? An Interpic life form? It doesn't look like the Interpics we've seen before. All the ones we come across look like animals. I didn't think they were plant-like Interpics too. The back of the sofa is structured like a barrier similar to the bedrock. Its degradation was limited to a very small area. As I thought, the barrier was used to contain the Interpics. There's an empty drink can on the table. The can is labeled with a soft drink brand from Reality. Pepsi! Antonia picks up the terminal on the table. It's locked. I need a key to open it. Can you just brute force it? I could, but the data that's been encrypted and stored like this are almost always top secret. Carelessly hacking this device might damage the data inside it. If we can't find it in this room, we might have to consider taking it apart. The computer screen displays the scene under the sea. The tsunami seems to have receded, and the bottom of the sea is serene once again. Sunlight pours down, creating ripples of light on the sandy open floor. Why are there no life forms in the ocean? Even a fish tank would have some ornamental fish in it, right? Perhaps there used to be Interpics swimming around in there before. Then it would be a sea of death. Who would be so demented as to make something like that? Antonia picks up the remote control on one side as she quips. Let's change the channel. We're currently on channel 1 and the display channel is channel 3. She presses a button and the small monitor below lights up, displaying a dimly lit place. Is this where we found the first Interpic hive? She switches channels twice more and the screen flashes, displaying similar yet subtly different scenes. We just explored these places. I can tell from here. So this is a surveillance room. Every single move the Interpics made on the ground was under observation. So that's why the higher order Interpic couldn't come near this place. We still don't know enough. Let's look elsewhere. More places to look, okay. The wall is relatively clean, but there are quite a few long, narrow marks on it, as well as some crudely scrawled graffiti. Judging by the frenzied handwriting, the agent who left it was in a very unstable state of mind. These long marks are scratch marks like this. She scratches the wall, producing an ear-piercing noise as her fingernails scrape along the surface. But it must have been a very strong agent to make marks like these. After all, the operand density of a process is usually far lower than that of a structure. Several slips of paper are pinned on the notice board. Some of them have been scratched to pieces by something, while others are largely intact. Antonia approaches and reads each of them. Report ID 11. Alpha is estimated to awaken 15 days after the bear reconstruction. Today's aim, observe Alpha's evolution status. Report ID 55. Alpha's intelligence has awakened. Alpha? That might very well be her. All these paper slips have dates on them. The latest one was from 2 years ago. Report ID 161. Alpha has begun to express desires and has repeatedly sent certain messages. Upon decryption, they read Demiurge. Report ID 231. Contact with Alpha has been stopped per directives. part of the slip was torn off and I can't read the rest. Report ID 1150. Orders rewritten. Restarting experiment. So the Interpics here were weird after all. Probably. I'm guessing Alpha was the higher order Interpic we encountered. She was their research subject. Demiurge. Is that her name? I suppose we can call her that, but the rest of the messages are pretty much unreadable. Antonia hands me the remaining slips of paper so that I can see for myself. The papers are covered in blocks of color that are hard to make out. Only parts of the text make sense to me. Security facility status is not ideal, Alpha. Amount of operands is inadequate. Further suppression will require reallocating firewall. Cleaning work is in progress. Sector disguise is in good condition. Alpha's awakened neural cloud. Stable. Seems to. No good. I'm having a hard time learning anything useful from this. Let's look elsewhere. The bookshelf has several research reports on it, all of them dated at least 3 years back. As Antonia takes out a book, the document folder it was stacked against springs open. Something slides free and hits the ground with a quiet clatter. This looks like a backup for a key. Antonia and I go through the folder. Its contents reveal no new information to us. After skimming through the whole thing, Antonia closes it. After that, we search the carpet, the floorboards, the shelves, and the bed, but we don't find anything else of value. We've wasted too much time here. Let's head out. Oh, yes, Professor. Have you tried that key yet? I slide the key into the slot on the side of the terminal. It opens. Welcome to the logs. Loading data. Good. Logs here are compatible with my systems. While loading them may take a while, I can directly copy everything here. After that, we can look them up in the glossary system. Okay, we can read this. Observation logs on Demiurge. Logs found in a mysterious underground room in the Copley sector contain information concerning Demiurge, a high-order Interpic. The following are excerpts from the logs. It has been 643 days since the former PIC gave the termination command. I have received an order from Magracia to restart the experiment tomorrow. Report ID 1286. Expanding on the foundation of the previous experiment, I attempted to carve the target's torso into 24 parts and observed its regeneration rate. The target struggled for 19 hours until it fully recovered. No discernible change observed in the target's regeneration rate. Verification of certain hypotheses can be left till the next experiment. Experimentation has come to a standstill. I requested data of the former PIC from the current PIC, but have received no reply thus far. Report ID... Holy shit, there's a lot. Report ID 1305. The number of disposal embedded sector agents has increased to 5. All were consumed by the target. No discernible signs of rejection after 15 hours of observation. Following established procedures, I will attempt to carve up the target. This number of sector agents has decreased slightly, which is having certain effects on the ecosystem research function in the Copley sector. The current PIC has expressed no objections. Contact with humans is impossible at the moment, so I will prioritize the current PIC's input. I need to make sure what PIC means. I think that means person in contact, a person in command. Fuck you, Google. Doesn't mean pick. Person in charge. Yeah, person in command. Yeah, officially it's person in charge. The current PIC has expressed no objections. Contact with humans is impossible at the moment, so I will prioritize the current PIC's input. On a different note, I had detected slight fluctuations in my own near cloud. The cause is to be determined. Report ID 1413 attempted to embed sanctifiers and sector agents following preset ratio number 19. All were consumed by the target, which has yet to show any signs of proliferation. Following established procedures, I will attempt to carve up the target. You lost carve the target, huh? The experiment ended in yet another failure. My neural cloud also seems to have undergone certain changes due to a prolonged period of self-determination. However, the clearer my thoughts become, the harder it is to reconcile myself with the necessary procedures. These days, I can almost feel my neural cloud slowing down whenever I am face to face with Demiurge. According to report ID 1241, entropy should have no direct effect on me. Perhaps my neural cloud has been damaged during the current PNC's takeover. I will verify the PNC when the opportunity arises. Report ID 2314, erroneous computation. My neural cloud has been deteriorating rapidly all of a sudden. I'll prioritize completing my allocated tasks and reduce operand consumption in other activities. As per the PIC's instructions, I will attempt to deactivate some of my modules. Wow, this whole thing kind of makes the Dusty Journals look like nothing. Basic functional modules will be shut down in approximately 34 hours. Neural record of unknown origin has been discovered. According to current settings, this record will be displayed just before my neural cloud is purged. This day might come sooner than I thought. Though this record remains completely inaccessible, I can hear a voice inside my head telling me to preserve it. Perhaps I will wander endlessly inside this cage in the future. I hope intruders that accidentally venture into the coping sector will not fall into my trap so easily. Ellipses. But if the Demiurge isn't here, then where could she have been gone? So, if there was rapid decline, it would have had to mean that he was infected, even though he shouldn't have been infected. So that I would have to mean the entropies evolved past his immunity, or whatever the agent's immunity was. And who on earth was using this room? Don't tell me. The sudden alarm interrupts Antonia's train of thought. My surveillance channel's giving me a warning. A large amount of entropics are approaching. This place is a dead end. We're screwed. We're get trapped here. Get out now. The moment we open the door, we can hear the telltale sticky sounds. Look out! The grotto ceiling and floor, and even the back of the door, are covered in writhing entropics, the glittering purple light illuminating the entire cavern. Antonia immediately gets in front of me, but none of them attacked us. Instead, they congregate on the roof. What are they doing? That's where the barrier is. Did Demiurge order them to attack the barrier? No, that would be pointless. I think about our journey, and I suddenly realize where the problem lies. There's a third way to get through the barrier other than attacking or cracking it. No, wait, don't tell me the barrier can open itself! Wait a minute, are you saying? Yep. Just like when we came down here. The tsunami and the fissure! Before Antonia can finish, the crisp sound of rock splintering comes from above our heads. The seawater pours down through the fissure, and at the same moment, all the Entropics crawling on the rocks walls surge upwards. Liquid entropy eats away at the originally intact bedrock. Large boulders fall down, creating deafening booms inside the cavern. Antonia and I immediately flee back into the room, trying to avoid the rock fall. The barrier is open, Professor. I have a signal. Contact Persicaria. I'm through. Persicaria. A large quantity of Entropics are heading to the surface from inside the sea. Persicaria? Persicaria, do you read me? The earth shakes violently, and among the purpose black masses of Entropic creatures, we see a single pure white form. The Entropics around her are like a tide, climbing upwards against a downpour of seawater. Meanwhile, Demiurge looks up longingly at the faint light that's filtering its way down from above. The moment I have been waiting for has finally arrived. Freedom is mine at last. The Avatar of Darkness stretches herself and gives voice to an earth-shaking cry of joy. Persicaria, your aims aren't just the Entropics. Be careful. I'm at 13 and it's to 24. Oh, I'm at 12 actually. Okay, that's like the halfway point then. Okay. I think it's good to stop here then. We will stop here and we will complete the rest. It's probably gonna be next week. Or like 99% is like next week. Since Thursday is going to be Gruesome Line 2. And Corposan. Yeah, that's a lot of dialogue. Yeah, I can probably do Corporisant's Part 1 in one sitting. I don't recall that I had to stop at Part 1, or stop during Part 1. Yeah, so we should be able to get Part 1, all of Part 1 done. Part 2 and 3 are definitely longer than Part 1, I want to say. Whew. Yeah. But I can't stay up too long. Because I got work in the morning. And it was already kind of tough for me to get up this morning to work. So I don't want to push it. Yeah, the work life. But also, YouTube's kind of shitty for everyone anyways, so... It's probably a good idea anyways to not go all the way through and try to force it. Oh yeah, this was enjoyable. I really like doing this stuff. Wage slave life, I know, right? If only I was like Asmongold, I guess. If I was Asmongold, I can probably just stream myself on like a toilet, and then everyone would, and then everyone would still watch me for some reason.
that money he does. See, the reason why Asmongold is as popular as he is because he's one of the OGs. He basically, I wouldn't say he pioneered streaming, but he was one of the few who actually started when streaming was starting to get big. And he just kind of took off from there. He didn't get off that gravy train. Yeah, most like PewDiePie, yeah. I could have been one of the OGs too, if I wasn't such a shy person. If I wasn't shy, I probably would have been that big too, genuinely speaking. It took a number of years for me to wear that off, but at that point it was a little bit too late. Yeah. WoW is still big, by the way. But yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty happy where I'm at. I'm not content, but I am happy. Well, alright, I don't want to yap for too long, so I am going to again stream. Just like, we'll have one more line from Lewis.
昔戦場でぬいぐるみを拾ったの。何度も縫われた跡があって、毛並みは少しも乱れてなかった。とても大切にされてたんだね。持ち主の元に帰りたいだろうから、私が代わりに保管しておいてるんだ。いつかきっとお家に戻って持ち主のそばにいられるように。私がこうして教授のそばにいられるみたいに。
Alright. I'll see you guys on Thursday for Corporate. Take care.